Well, hello, guys. I think we are live. Not sure. Dave, are we live?
I think so. Hold on.
I
That's
was expecting the end of it.
not 240 was plenty.
Oh, that's funny. So, hey, guys, welcome to After Dark with a little bit of help from my best friend over here, Dave Wolf, coming at you from the Paramotor Crazy channel. Definitely appreciate you guys joining in, guys. I can't see chat. I can't see numbers. Nothing. I am on my phone,
But I
literally in the hotel room.
tell you who's in it since you can't read it. So I'm gonna just kind of start at the top, work my way down a little bit. Nick Griffith was the first to join us. Then Jim CR120, John Wayne, Kevin Can Fly, Linda Anderson, Kelby Cox. Oh, who else? Angela's here. Linda Anderson is here. Casper PPG, Sarah Ehlers, and Frank Graham, and Bob Garber, Bob H, Chuck Johnson, Chris Fenimore, Tony Marziano, and last but not least, Kyle O'Glee.
Nice.
Oh,
Very cool.
and Ryden just joined in too. There you go.
I definitely appreciate you guys joining in. Guys, I'm coming at you from Lake Wales, Florida right now from the Holiday Inn Express. I'm not normally a paramotor pilot, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Terrible. Alexis Quintana just joined in. Hello. Oh, JR Paramotor. Flying Flamingo, I got to stop there. We got 29 people watching. If I missed anybody's name, I apologize. But there you go, Dave. I'll keep an eye on the chat for you. Host way.
No, I appreciate it. Guys, thanks so much for joining in. So, yeah, I'm in Florida. I just finished my ASC basic flight instructor program. I did my tandem flights today with Kyle Mooney and Travis Burns with One Up Adventures. I'm assuming I passed with flying colors. Nobody died. I'm still alive, and they didn't throw me out. So I guess that's good news. But no, on a more serious note, I was a little worried about it. Tandem flying went really, really well. I flew the Flash Cruiser with the Ryder frame with the 250. Went freaking incredible. Powerful machine. Super loads of fun. Mine supposedly came in today and is being shipped out to Texas. So yeah, I think next week we'll be in business. Yeah. Also got some depressing news too. As I was leaving the airport tonight, we got word that the 2021 Arizona Renaissance Festival has officially closed for 2021 due to COVID-19. So I will not be going to work in February, unfortunately. Looking like the next time I'm going to work is probably going to be September of 2021. We'll see. So yeah, guys, get ready for lots of flying videos and lots of farm videos. I'll also be opening the website up for the archery as well. So what's going on, Dave?
Well, I don't know. I've been busy today, man, booking shows. In fact, I just mentioned Kyle on, and I know we're gonna have to get Kyle on the show here pretty soon because once it starts getting light, at 9 o'clock at night, we can't get him on the show to save our lives. So maybe we'll have to get Kyle on the next couple months here before it's too late.
Well, you're the superstar. Keep on booking shows. I mean, you just need to reach out to him.
Do you want me to tell you who is booked or what we've got coming up?
Tell us.
Because I just booked 2 new shows today for January. So here's what we have coming up. Ooh, is my calendar not updated? It is. Oh, I forgot to change it in here. So this week we got Harley Milne, and there's a lot of people that's going to be on that one because you got the Pierce boys who helped him out. You've got Greg and Cynthia are going to be there. Anthony Peregringo. I know there's a couple other people too, and I can't remember who off the top of my head. I apologize. Of course, I'll be there. But they're all going to be on talking about the entire experience of the journey going from San Diego into Florida. It's going to be a long show. It's not going to be an hour show for sure because there's so many different perspectives. It was such an amazing experience. We want to really hear from everybody what they have to say and give them the opportunity to, because I mean, this was historic. It really, really was historic. So the week after that is the Christmas show where we're going to have, just like the Halloween show, there's going to be some special guests joining us and a special guest host I'll step aside once again and be letting someone else host the show. Mark,
yeah, actually, got my email saying that I was relieved that that show. So
Yeah. So, but here's the great news. We have some amazing, amazing sponsors, and I've talked to just about every sponsor, and they're going to be sending us some amazing things. I don't even know if I told Ripman something. I'm like, I don't know if I should tell Dave, because Dave's going to be super excited when he hears this one. Should
what
I
do you
tell?
got?
All right. See, I'm great at keeping everybody's secrets. Everybody tells me their secrets, which is great because I'm very trustworthy. When it comes to like things like exciting, like surprises like this, I suck. I just suck. Craig Taylor, Wicked Wings logos. He has made some special logos. I hope people like them, but it's going to be the our Paramotor Nation logo for the wings.
No kidding.
So I don't know how he said he's going to send me a bunch. I'm not sure how many, but we'll be giving away 1 or 2 of those on the show. And then we got a lot of other stuff too. I mean, a lot of these sponsors have really stepped up. Fly My PPG sent me a huge box of t-shirts. I know, here, I'll kind of spell some of them. Andy Fuller of Skylab is going to be doing a $100 gift certificate for Skylab training, as well as a t-shirt. I thought that was awesome.
Man, that's a huge win.
Travis Burns and Kyle Mooney are going to do a t-shirt along with, ready for this? A complimentary tandem introductory flight. And you can redeem it at a fly-in. You can redeem it at Lake Wales.
Listen, Dave, since I'm here and I'm going to see him tomorrow.
You can give it away as a gift.
Well, since I'm here and I'm going to see him tomorrow because I'm going to fly with him again tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and pick that t-shirt and that certificate up and I'll bring it to you.
No, they'll take care of that. Stop it. Don't come up with who else? Ron Torin of Lone Star is going to be sending me a ton of stuff. Eric Fairwell is going to be sending me a ton of stuff. Mike Mixer is going to be sending me a ton. We're going to have a lot of prizes. We may have too many prizes, and it might be stuff that goes into the weeks as far as like drawings down the road. And it's going to be really, really neat how we do this, guys. There's going to be 2 wheels. One, Ripman's going to be controlling all the names in the chat, and you have to be here on the show and claiming your prize within 30 seconds from the time that your name is pulled up. And Dave is going to have a wheel that's going to have all the prizes listed on it. So Ripman will spin 1 wheel and screen share his screen so you can see who wins. And then Dave's going to screen share and it's going to see what prize they won.
Yep.
So probably every 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to be giving another prize for an hour. That's the Christmas Spectacular. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a way to give back to the community that who watch the shows. And it's a way for us to also, once again, thank the sponsors of the show. So it's going to be awesome. It really is. So we have that the following week. Elena Honeycutt. She's going to be talking about the amazing year that she had despite 2020's craziness. The week after that, we're into now 2021 spousal support on January 3rd. That's going to be Carrie Cotter, Mike Cotter's wife, Carrie Burns, Travis's wife, Jennifer O'Glee, Kyle's wife, and Jennifer Wolf, my wife. And they're going to be talking about how their spouses decided to become paramotor pilots, what challenges they faced, how they ended up giving the support. And each one of them has a little bit of different of a story. You know, as you know, Travis helped to start Aviator, so that was a huge endeavor. Kyle has, started his own school. And I want to hear from Jennifer what was like, not just letting my husband go and fly, but, starting the school on his own. Mike's story, for those that know this, Mike had a really horrific paramotor accident. So I'm sure that was very difficult for Carrie to, thank you, crazy Uncle Bob. Greeting, fellow deplorables, infidel, flying squirrels. Sorry, I'm late again. There's a benefit hosting this show for you. Thank you, sir. And of course, my wife was dead set against me doing this. So I believe that
you pop out of the woods and scare the pants off of her.
So there's 2 reasons I very firmly believe that people don't get into paramotoring. Number 2, not number 1. Number 2 is finances, and number 1 is spousal support. And I've had a lot of gentlemen come up to me and ask me, "Hey, can you say something to my wife, or can you have your wife talk to my wife?" I'm like, no, I'm not getting involved in your family affairs. But I think this is a great show. So if you've got friends that have, held back from getting into the sport because they didn't have full buy-in from their family, this is a great show to watch with the family. Okay.
Yeah.
We have spousal support. I just booked this next person 30 minutes ago, and she is in the chat. And she is a young lady who's come very, very far in paramotor flying. So much that she's become an instructor in a very short amount of time. She's extremely talented, and her name is Alexis Quintana. And
Nice.
Alexis has been a guest on the show, has on with Ron Stern. This time she's solo, without the help of her Lone Star compadre. So there you go. Now, the next guest. So I don't know if everybody in the chat will appreciate this, and many people may not even know who this person is, but I will say this person is a legend in paramotoring. So if you've been in the sport probably more than 5 years, you know who he is. His name is Alex Ledger. And Alex, do you know Alex? So Alex is a legend in the sport. He owns and runs Sky School in the United Kingdom. He lives in France. He does adventure trips, and he's got an amazing one planned in Africa this coming October. And I showed a video to, and he's also, this is one of the really, really coolest things, because I talked to Scandret about this. I exchanged some text messages with Scandret earlier today. He has a program which is called Flying for Heroes. It's basically the same thing as Resurgence PPG on that side of the pond. In fact, I showed a video to Scandret, and he said, yeah, that double leg amputee was one of the reasons that I was inspired to start Resurgence PPG. Awesome stuff. And he's got a lot of stories. He was actually in the United States back in 2014 when Ryan Southwell and Shane Denherter did the race, the Icarus race. So he was here, but more as a person helping to tell what to do. So
Yeah.
got a ton of history. And then the 31st, Ripa has a guest. So on the 31st, oh, by the way, Alex Ledger, that show is going to be at 6 o'clock because he's 6 hours ahead of us. And so he's just like with Amelia Plack, he's going to be coming on at midnight his time. So we compromise. That'll be a 6 p.m. show. And then right after that, I'm going to be hitting on the road. Let's leave it at that. And then Dave Henning is Ripa's guest. So I will be starting the show wherever I'm at. And I think Rip is going to be taking the reins on that one there. So that's the shows coming up all the way through January. There is one date that I left out, which is January 10th. Alexis will be on the 17th, Alex on the 24th, Dave on the 31st. I'm still working on a guest. I'm trying to get a hold of somebody for the 10th. So I'll leave it at that.
Who are you trying to get in touch?
I'm not going to say.
Yeah, you will. You will in the after show.
No, I really won't.
Yeah, you really will.
Okay. So that's
we all know.
With the shows. I haven't been reading the chat. I apologize. Kyle O'Glee says there may not be any more shows after the wives go telling all our secrets. That's funny.
Right. Well, Jennifer O'Glee is a kick in the pants. I get to talk to her and hang out with her when I'm up there. She is just absolutely awesome. I can't wait to hear her story with Kyle.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. But that's what's going on. But something else happened yesterday. Yeah, last night I did something that I was talking about. What's up, Leah Cotillo? So as you know, you and I both now have gone through Travis's course, became basic flight instructors, and now have a tandem exemption with the FAA. I've done probably about a dozen, maybe more tandem flights already. I did have one person that actually paid me to take him up, and now that person is going to, he's already purchased. When I took this guy up, he wasn't sure if he wanted to do paramotoring. When I landed, he got out of the seat, turned around, and goes, "Where do I sign up for this?" And he's already bought a Kangook and a glider, and his brother already bought a glider as well. So he was overwhelmed when he landed. And I didn't think we didn't have comms on, but I was able to scream in his ear and pass him over the toggles, let him, steer for about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, which was great because it was freezing out. My hands were getting ice cold. But he did great. And he's now going to start training. But, it occurred to me, there's a sense of liability out there too when you're doing any type of training, because you never know, even though it's a perfect landing, you never know when someone will come back and say, "Oh, I got whiplash." So plus, well, let's start with this. So what I did last night was I created an LLC and limited liability company, right? Sure. And it's called Paramotor Crazy LLC. And here's why. The back of my trailer is a big ass sticker. It says Paramotor Crazy. So I thought, you know what? This is advertising. So anytime that my trailer moves, I'm going to get miles. And everything that I've purchased over this last year, I will use as a tax write-off. And in the future years, anything I purchase or any depreciating assets will also be a tax write-off. So for the low cost of $377, I should easily make that back up in tax savings. But more importantly, as you and I were talking, liability coverage. So if anybody does try to be stupid, then we can go ahead and get that all covered.
Here, hold on for a second. I just got a warning on my phone. Oh, okay. Nope, it's trying to back up here.
Mia Coutinho's getting much older. She's really getting old, dude. It's not nice. It wouldn't be nice for me to say how old she is, would it?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
So hey, Dave. Actually, I'm gonna segue you into what I want to talk about next. So we saw pictures of your new house being built.
No. All right.
Hey, I thought it was funny.
What? Oh, God.
And your amazing ability to talk to people.
Yeah. This was an interesting story. Jenny and I stopped over at the house today. They were doing all the drywall, and there's some crew there that may not speak a lot of English, more Spanish. Is that the nicest way to say that? I don't know. So but I see these guys whenever I go to the house, and shut up. I'm not that much older than you, Leah. Okay. A little bit, they're speaking Spanish, but then when we start saying, "How are you? Thanks so much. You guys are doing a great job." And he says, "Hey, how many kids do you have?" I said, "Oh, I've got 4 kids." He goes, "Oh, let me see a picture." Should I show him the picture? And he says, we talk a little bit, and he says, I said to him, I said, how many kids do you have? He goes, "Oh, I have two twin boys." I said, "Really? That's awesome." I said, "What are their names?" He said, what was it? Amal and Juan. Amal and Juan. I said, "Oh, let me see." And he said, "Yeah, they're identical twins." I said, "That's crazy. Let me see pictures." So he pulls out a picture of just one of them. And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, where's the other picture?" He goes, "Oh, no, I just keep one." I said, "Why do you just keep one in your wallet?" He goes, "Well, once you've seen them all, once you've seen them all, once you've seen one, you've seen them all." Boy, did I blow that one. God.
I'm so glad this is on your channel.
Oh, I just blew that joke so bad. Never mind. Can we go to something else? Let's talk about something else. That was, wow, man.
What about that bald guy?
Oh, Kurt.
Yeah.
Kurt Pfister. Yeah, I heard something interesting about Kurt Pfister. He's bald on top, but he keeps he keeps a comb in his pocket always. He just can't part with it. Oh, Rip is saying, "Oh God."
Yeah, we wanted Rip on. I bet he's glad he didn't get on tonight.
No. Hey, by the way, is your foot your foot? Is it still hurting?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you tell the story? I don't know if people knew this. I'll tell it. Dave about 3 weeks ago dropped a big tub of margarine on his foot while he was cooking, and I guess I can't believe it's still hurting, but yeah, I can't believe it's not better.
How many people we got watching?
Not anymore. 44. All right, let's talk about paramotors. I'm done. I still tell Shane's Reese Witherspoon joke. That's still funny to me.
Oh man,
You've heard that one, haven't you?
No.
Why did you just go, "Oh man"? She got stabbed, right?
Yeah.
What did I say her name was? Reese. Okay, why am I drawing the blank? Reese
Witherspoon.
Oh, with a knife. Okay, let's go. Yes. Okay.
You ever thought of stand-up comedy?
Go back to paramotors. Let's talk about your training. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't even know where to begin. So a couple days ago I came out. Took the proving flights, basically you show that I know how to fly a trike. Because if you don't, when you take this training, you can come out here not knowing how to fly a trike, and you will basically be taught how to fly a trike, get the required hours and stuff like that. So, I don't know, kind of interesting story to me when we were doing this. They told me what the expectations were, what they were going to be walking for, what they're going to ask me to do, and to basically take the Flash Cruiser. I flew it with a 185. It was a tandem trike, but with a 185 on it, and I was the only one in the trike. And I flew my 28-meter Dudick 1.1 from Kyle O'Glee. Thank you, Kyle, if you're still watching. Anyway, took off, no problem. I told him that I hadn't flown trike in about 4 weeks, and actually after that, I was thinking about it. It's actually been probably more like around, I don't know, 2 months. But anyway, pulled the wing up. It's like riding a bicycle. Got up in the air, and Kyle had told me, hey, take it up for 5-10 minutes, get used to the trike and everything, and then we'll be asking you to do this stuff. So I basically flew around for about 2 or 3 minutes before I kind of started getting bored just flying circles with this thing. And I had been yanking it around and just kind of figuring out what the trike's going to do. So it wasn't long before I came in and started flying above the runway at about 1.5 feet, flying by, and then setting it down and starting to taxi and do the 30-degree off center turns. And then the 30 degrees turned into 45 degrees, and I take back off. And the 45 degrees once turned into a 90-degree turn for a total crosswind takeoff with the wind blowing at like 6 to 8. Did power off stuff, to see how it glides, with turning around points and et cetera, and landed. And said, okay, that's great. Basically, I'm going to go back up one more time. They wanted to see something else. Took back off and ended up landing again. And I think it was Travis that walked up to me and goes, and I don't think you're going to have a problem with this. It's like, well, they do call me trike flyer.
I kept saying to you, you kept calling me, I'm so worried. This is going to be so, I don't know. I said, dude, it's the same thing as flying a trike. And by God damn it, man, your name is Trike Flyer. You should be able to do this without a problem.
True story. So we ended up doing that. And then I think it was yesterday, went up for the second ever tandem in my life. My first tandem was right before I learned to fly, my introductory flight. And then yesterday I went up with Kyle as a passenger. And I actually want to kind of talk about this a little bit because I always tell people that, when you get to a point of being comfortable with a paramotor, whether you're foot launching or trike flying, you don't think about takeoffs. You don't really think about the flight as far as, oh, hey, I need to pull left brake, or hey, I need to pull right brake, or I need to throttle up, throttle down. It just becomes intuitive. As compared to what your brain, is telling you that you want to go do or what you need to do. It's just not even a conscious, really. For me, it's not a conscious thought. Flight is subconscious. And what I found yesterday was really interesting. As I got into the tandem, we were flying the Flash Cruiser with the Rider with the 250 on it. And the Tenix, is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know. I just read what Sierra Ehlers just wrote. She just made a joke. She says, I don't just like paramotors. I'm a big fan. Wow.
That was actually pretty good.
Wow. I'm sorry. Whatever you're saying, I just lost because of that.
Anyway.
You were saying, are you talking about the Thor 250?
Yeah. We're flying on the Thor 250. And I found myself, as I was getting into the front seat, I had anxiety about it. Not like, I don't want to go fly anxiety, but there was just an element of nervousness about it. And I think what it came down to is because I don't have control of the paramotor. I know exactly what's fixing to happen. I know what flight feels like. I know what it looks like. But having the element of not the one being in control of the flight gave me just a little bit of anxiety. Of course, I know Kyle and I know Travis and I trust them. So, no big deal. And we're going through, all the motions and stuff that I would prove that I knew today, with basically talking to your passenger, what you're going to be asking them, setting the expectations, et cetera, et cetera. So basically I'm playing the passenger and learning, what I'm going to be saying the next day. And we take off. Notice that the takeoff roll was definitely longer. The climb was, a little bit slower. And as we broke ground, I'm sitting, okay, cool. This is great. And then within about 2 minutes, I felt myself kind of just relax. My shoulders drop a little bit. And it was like I discovered flight for the first time again. Or for the second time, because now all of a sudden I was in the front seat of a tandem machine, taking in the flight And that subconscious thing that we do to fly when we take off and we fly wasn't connected, because my brain's not telling me, oh, add just a little touch of brake or add a little throttle or do this or do that, to make the machine do what I needed it to do. There's no thought to it. I'm a passenger. I have no control. So I was literally looking at the world for the second time as a pilot, in that the flight was different than what it's like when you're actually in the seat. And I don't know if that makes sense. Sarah today put it as, it's as if you're a passenger in the car going over a mountain pass with beautiful trees and beautiful stream and beautiful colors, that as a passenger you can really take that in because you're not focusing on driving. There's no thought to that, so you can actually take it in as a passenger. And I found it to be a really, really neat experience, in that it was like I was flying for the first time again.
So it's
New experience.
interesting that you do that, because I took gas with me when we were at the fly-in, at the Dave Purden fly-in, and I said, Dad, you must have been so bored flying. He goes, Dave, I loved it. I got to sit back. I got to relax. I didn't have to think about anything. It was just fun. I want to ask you a quick question here from Chris Fenimore. It says, with a trike downwind takeoff, should be possible. With a trike, downwind takeoff should be possible. Ground roll speed, not so much an issue. Now, if you have a problem answering that question, maybe somebody else can also help you with that question. And he's here dealing drugs right now.
There you go.
Oh, the drug dealing's over with today.
Hey, Kyle. Welcome to the show, bud.
What's up, guys?
Jumping in, man. I heard the party was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it quit for about a week. Like, people stayed, and we just kept flying and jamming and carrying on. It's pretty good stuff.
Awesome.
It was off the hook. This
Yeah.
man can cook, let me tell you what.
Oh, we cooked the whole time, I think. I don't think I ever turned off that pellet smoker. I just left it on low, and we just turned it up when we need something seared.
Mark, man, he's like, Dave, you got to come down next year. I don't care what you're doing. Just get your butt down here next year.
Oh, yeah. And the weather was good, too. A lot of people didn't come because the forecast showed like 30%, 40% rain or something. And then it turned out like it was amazing the whole time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, it was the first time that I got to fly from Kyle's yard to the airport, full stop landing, hung out, and then from the airport back to Kyle's yard. It was freaking awesome.
Trike Flyer, why don't you ask that question? Do you want me to ask it again of you? From Chris? Yeah. Chris asks, with a trike, downwind takeoff should be possible. I guess it's saying, considering ground roll speed, not so much an issue. You want to answer it?
Theoretically, a downwind takeoff in a trike is possible. You're just going to have to overcome the downwind speed. And once you do that, it becomes zero airspeed. And then you got to build up airspeed to get the wing up over you to lift to fly. Not recommended. Technically, it's possible. I mean, we can pull downwind takeoffs foot launching if it's blowing 1-2 miles an hour if you're motivated enough.
Yeah. So, Dave, I don't know if you had a chance. I know you've been busy today. Kyle, why am I doing this? It's your show to host, man. I got to shut up.
Go for it. You're doing great. I'm enjoying the vacation.
I was just happy to be on the internet.
All right. Kyle had a really great video out today, and it was impactful. And I think I'll let Kyle speak about it if you'd like, sir.
Oh, I just read the accident report for Kiwi, the fella that they lost in Nevada for so many days. I believe the search went for almost a month. Mm-hmm. Then they found him, and then it was like the details will be forthcoming. Well, just a few days ago, they released the report. Ozone did an entire accident investigation report, which you rarely see with paragliding stuff, but they may do them regularly on other places in the world. But in this country, you call the feds to come out to look at an accident. They're like, oh, that ain't us. You better call the local deputy sheriff, and they're out. But Ozone did a full, breakdown of what they thought. They had all the data from the GPS tracker. They had the wing, obviously, the scene there, all the bad stuff that they had to look into. And yeah. I mean, it was terrible. I really hated that. Anybody gets hurt or dies or even breaks stuff. That makes my feelings hurt too. But especially losing a life, especially somebody that I didn't know him, but he was well known in the sport. Obviously, I'd heard his name, and just when you hear a name and you're like, yeah, I've heard that. And then, when they were looking for him, they were saying, he's got a large Xeno, the blue and white, and immediately it struck me as like, oh, well, that's the same wing that I fly all the time, and I was just in the area flying that he was there flying in just the week before. So that kind of all I sort of kept up with the story and was super curious about, what happened and why. And, it was a line failure is what they think. And there were some contributing factors that I mentioned in the video, but that was just something I shot this morning, just kind of on a whim. I got the report a couple of days ago, but I hadn't had the opportunity to, I read it to one of my students that was hanging out, and I was like, man, that would probably make some good video content. And, it said right there in the report that the family would like the information shared if it was going to help anybody. So I thought sharing it would be a good way to give my little part back. I didn't get to help with the search and rescue. Although what was really neat with that, if there was any good that come out of it at all, was the entire community started reviewing the satellite footage, the people that could. They were looking at the live, or not, I don't know if it's live satellite footage, but like footage of the area where they were looking for him. You could download these geographical boxes and search through satellite footage for the paraglider, to see if they could find it. And lots of people were able to do that. That's one of the newer things that's happened with any sort of search and rescue that I'm aware of. I mean, I guess military or whoever's probably been doing it for many years now, but to give it to the public and say, hey, I'll look at this fresh satellite footage. It was taken after the accident or after the disappearance. See if you can find a glider hanging in a tree somewhere and help us find this guy. So people were able to actually help with the search and rescue effort from their basement, which was kind of I'd never even considered that as an option. I cut my name in my yard for 3 years before it got on Google Maps. So the picture's there, by the way. They finally updated it and it's there.
Yeah, but now the lettering is gone.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna fix it up again next year, maybe. So, but the picture's on the internet for at least the next few years, maybe.
Yeah.
But back to the thing about Kiwi, it was blown up on the internet and Facebook, and everybody was just sort of like, wow, what happened? He just vanished. And sad that at least they found him. Some people vanish out there in the desert, never to be seen again.
So how did they find him? Was it the satellite stuff or?
The wing like blew over to a road or something, and somebody found the wing and then kind of backtracked and they found his body under a tree. But he had become apparently detached from the wing. So sad stuff.
I'll admit, checking lines, I'd give myself an F as far as how often I'm checking to make sure all my lines are intact and in good shape. Is this something that we just pick up our stuff, we throw it in the bag, we pull it out of the bag, we inflate it, we go fly? And Kyle, how would you grade yourself on that as far as constantly checking the lines, make sure there's no issues?
You could always be more thorough. All of us could, but doing a 2-hour inspection on your wing every time you go fly is probably just not feasible. I give it a good look. I know how it was when I put it up. I know if it gets snagged on stuff, if I feel like resistance, I might give it a little more thorough examination to see if anything got scratched. There's some places on my lines that have damage and I'm keeping an eye on them steadily. And, that's something I'm always kind of looking at, like, man, I should probably replace those lines, the ones that are damaged. But, also I've had lines that were completely broken and I didn't know, not on this wing, but previous wings. I've looked up and seen lines dangling behind me that had gotten chopped up by mountain rocks or something like this. And I didn't even notice, while I'm flying.
Yeah.
So there's, we could always be better. All of us could. We've all kind of fallen short of the glory of, inspecting everything we need to inspect every time. But the wing you're right. that's your ride. And, you know, the motor, a lot of people spend a lot of time on the motor checking it out, but that thing's just a hunk of junk back there to push some air. They're all a joke. All the motors are jokes. So, you know, your wing is your ride. That's what you're hooked to. If that thing goes out, you're done. Yeah. So motor goes out, I just laugh and land. It's never been a factor. I never trust it. I never trust the dang motor. The joke is, how do you know it's going to quit? It's running. So.
And actually, that's a true story, because you and I've flown around. I've seen you land in some farmer's field, you know, to tie your shoe, yeah, or to fix something and then take back off again.
Mm-hmm. Dave, you've got about a dozen gliders yourself. When was the last time you checked a connection point?
Actually, when I pull my wings out, I'm very much like Kyle. I'll give them a once over and then I'll go fly them. Yeah. I knew how they flew the flight before. I know that I was the last one to touch the wing and put it into the bag. And then when it comes back out, I do another once over.
Rarely stitching and things like that. I mean, probably should be checking it more often. At least I know I'm the first to say I'm probably the most guiltiest of not checking it. For God's sakes, it's been in the damn water.
It's something else. I just noticed Nick Griffith on the chat. He said, "Don't step on lines." That's actually a huge thing. You know, you step on some lines and cause some damage, going to a high G whatever, and that line gives up the ghost. Then, you know, in my area, stepping on a line is not so bad. It's all grass and soft dirt, but, you know, somewhere else, the beach, the mountains, you know, somewhere where it's abrasive or hard, and you could seriously damage a line just by stepping on it one time against something sharp, you know, versus if it's just laying there, you brush it across it, not such a big deal. But I see people, I'll try to make them aware of it all the time. Like, hey, whoa, don't watch your lines. Don't step on your lines, just to get in a good habit of not doing that, because that could turn into a huge safety issue at some point. You know?
There's a question for you, Dave, from Sarah. And she says, I'm going to go back to your training here for a second, knowing how you take things in differently when you're a student and when you're learning, knowing you're going to be teaching it, did you have any aha moments in your training?
Yeah. Probably in the way that I convey things. And it's an interesting thing, because Kyle's on. I mean, I hang out with Kyle as much as I can. I go down there to go fly, and I've seen Kyle teach God knows how many students now. And it's actually one of my favorite things to do, to go watch somebody fly for the first time. And looking back on all the things that I've ever heard Kyle talk to people about, and 95% of them knowing exactly why Kyle's saying exactly what he's saying. There's been a few times where I've just kind of scratched my head, and I understand it, but not really sure why. And that really goes into what I was talking to you about, David, is the psychology of teaching, the FOI test that I did on how to portray ideas and how to look at a student and their body language and what they're saying and how they're acting to know where we're going to go next and how we're going to get there, and knowing how to teach somebody to make sure that they have it, that they're retaining it so they can use it. The aha moment for me was taking what I've seen Kyle doing and then doing these study courses and then having to do it myself, which a whole 5 or 6 times that I've done it, but now understanding why exactly that's going on and why Kyle, sorry, Kyle, I'm picking on you because you're here, but why Kyle is so effective at what he does. So yeah, it's probably going to make me a little more patient, because admittedly, I'm not a good teacher. But I learned a lot of stuff over these past couple of days too.
Well, how do you know, man? I mean,
because
you're a great teacher. Don't discount yourself.
I've taught Olympic level archery, and I don't consider myself a really good teacher, although I guess the people I've taught would probably say something different. But I don't know, maybe I'm just too hard on myself. I don't know.
It's a two-way relationship, there's the teacher and the students. You can't be a great teacher if you have a crappy student. I mean, it goes both ways too. So
yeah,
a lot of the learning that I've done just on my own. I had a great resource as an instructor, but I didn't get every tick of information from my instructor. Most of it came from other sources. But having an instructor there to ask the questions to get the intel from, that's what an instructor is. It's a resource. It's another tool in your bag to, you know, it's like, hey, why do I not need to step on my lines? You know, those type things, or, you know, for the teacher to offer the things that you're maybe not thinking about in the beginning. You know, just this last week, I had nothing but intermediate students, you know, people that wanted to, you know, step up into bigger weather or learn bigger maneuvers. And so that was refreshing, you know, not teaching the basics, but more intermediate things, you know, a deeper weather study. So all good
Well,
stuff.
let's put it this way. I know that in the years that I've been coming and seeing you and hanging out with the students and watching them and stuff, there's been a few times where you've been super busy and one of your students had a question. So I've stepped up and said, no, you know, blah, 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 done it this way. And you haven't gotten a complaint and you haven't told me not to do that. So there might be hope.
No, that's, I mean, unless I hear somebody telling wrong, I mean, why would I be worried about that?
Yeah. So
extra tools in your bag and extra resources, as you just said. Dave's got this new Flash Cruiser from Fly Products. He's going to be, I'm sure, bringing out your way, and I'm sure you're going to be checking it out. Is a trike, tandem trike in the future for the Kyle O'Glee School of Paramotoring.
Yeah, I've already started drawing it up.
There you go.
I've repurposed the old Dirty Bird. I'm going to make it a trike trainer, actually, with like the go-kart drive, and I'm going to keep the hoop and, you know, put 2 chairs on it so that I can sit there, have the student drive me around without the risk of a propeller, you know, or something like this. Nice. And I think that's going to be a great resource for teaching, because I've had wheeled students over the year, but my program has always been, you know, bring your own gear. I'll teach you how to fly it. I've got that capability, even though I don't do wheels regularly. I've never had any problems doing it. I understand it. I know what, how, and why. You know, it's never been a factor, except when they tump it over, break a prop, you know, then maybe I don't have a prop because they have a different unit. It happens. That's something that happens when you're learning these things. So having a tool there, again, so that they don't have to wreck a new machine or something. And, you know, as soon as they tump it over, what's like, dang, you're dead in the water now. Training's on hiatus until we get this fixed or, you know, have a replacement or whatever. But having something like that, you know, good luck tumping it, I guess.
The ones, I want to say it's London Ivy that has one where if it just should happen to come off the ground, it cuts the motor out too.
Oh, yeah. Neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, you know, you can get them to inflate it, but if they go too fast and they get liftoff, it'll kill the motor and they'll come right back down. No harm, no foul.
I'm just going to gear it slow as dirt.
There you go. And there's that.
One of the things that Kyle hasn't mentioned is when he and I were hanging out at his party, I happened to have an extra trike frame that I'm going to bring him, because Kyle has the unique ability to be able to do a lot of things and come up with a lot of things. So a little horse trade is going to go on. And hopefully Kyle will add some of his welding skills, put the front bars on it, and then he'll have himself a tandem unit if he gets himself an engine. So
lots of options. I like options.
Options,
resources.
Sorry, I'm not giving you or selling you my extra 250.
Yeah, no, yeah, people change their mind every day.
There you go. But no, other than that, then today I took the actual physical tandem side of things where I was a pilot in command. I'll admit I was super nervous about it. Actually, I caught it on camera. I brought the trike out, I brought the wing out, set the wing up, and then ended up going back to Travis's car because I was literally, my adrenaline was pumping. So
had to go throw up in the corner real quick.
Being a smoker, I went back over to Travis' truck, grabbed my pack of cigarettes, lit up a cigarette, and then did a slow walk back just to kind of clear my mind. And
I heard you talk when I was trying to log in. I wasn't paying attention as much, but I heard you mentioning like you had some nerves going, taking a passenger or being a passenger. I don't know. Taking a passenger. Okay.
We said being a passenger.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, when I did my, you must've been talking when I was the passenger yesterday.
Did you not know that Dave
being a passenger?
He's a control freak, Kyle. He's got to be in control all the time.
I may be as well, because I took an airplane ride some years ago with another pilot who was vastly more experienced than I was at that point. And he got down low on the water over a lake up in Arkansas. And man, I caught myself white knuckling the seat back in. I was in the back seat of this airplane. And I was like, like you're gonna kill us, man. You're gonna, I do the same thing. And it's like, oh, different perspective now. I see.
Yeah, and that's because the way that Travis and Kyle do it is basically, you're in the paying customer's shoes first, so you know what it feels like. And so there was a little bit of anxiety. I mean, it was nothing major, because I know these guys. I mean, hell, I'd fly with them. I'd fly with you. But there's that. I might
let Travis bring me up. Kyle Mooney, I don't know about that guy though.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if he's got the skills.
I question that, dude. When I brought him up, he was pressing back on me and wiggling.
I didn't know Kyle could reach the foot pedals. Is he tall enough yet?
Actually, so Kyle drove Travis's truck today, and Travis had to put the wood pieces on the pedals so he could reach them.
I've never met him in real life. Is he a short fella?
Oh yeah, he's 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I wonder what that's like. I don't remember.
One of the best.
Since 10 years old. I was 10 years old, maybe. I was last 120.
I've been 120 since I was like 13.
Oh boy.
How we feel like we know people, but we've never really met them, like you and I have never met.
Yeah.
I will be at EFD this coming year.
Oh, fun. I hope I get to go. Maybe the world won't burn by then.
You're going, because if you're not, I'm not going.
Weather's bad. You migrate south. That happened one year.
Well, and David's going to end up going to the Para Party 2021.
Heck yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
I may end up going to Ohio.
January 3rd, you can talk to my wife and ask her for me if I can leave Thanksgiving weekend to come down. I might just fly down. Might not be
Bring the whole family. My mama will take you
in. Cool. All right,
man.
Break Flyer. This is your show, brother.
Yeah. So I ended up taking my first passenger, was super, super nervous about it. Went and smoked a cigarette, calmed down, went back, got into it. Dave, you and I had this conversation last night. It's like, I'm worried about this. And you're like, no, it's a trike. It's like any other trike flight. Dude, I'm here to tell you, it was like any other trike flight. It was slower because of the weight.
I was just saying, it probably would be easier because it's, more planted. I guess it would be harder to tump over, so you got more leeway with your left and right. But
you're exactly right.
Not that you'd let it get too far left and right.
Things were slower to inflate, slower to get rolling, slower, to take off, and slower to climb. But what I found, because my first one, my wing came up just slightly left. No big deal, turned under it, got control of it. I never even really let off the power because I never felt like it was going to tip. I never felt any pressure at all and just went for it. Controlled takeoff. I mean, perfect, controlled takeoff. Kyle said, hey, you might want to let off the power a little bit in taxiing. I was like, dude, the reason why I didn't is I never felt the pressure, felt like we're under the wing. He goes, I'd agree with you, but just consider it.
I'll tell you what's really easy about taking off with that 38 meter though. It's just looking right over to your left shoulder and there's the tip. You don't have to go looking far back. It's right there. You can watch that hole right up.
You can watch it, and it comes up so slow.
Do we get to make tip jokes? Oh, hey, I'm wrong channel.
Hey, we're on Dave's channel. Wait a minute.
No, wait for it. So the second one, the wing came up pretty hard to my right. I mean, it was like, here, Kyle, remember when I flipped my trike at your para party?
I was gone when you did that.
Oh, that's right. You were in
told me about
it. Came up like that. I mean, it was off to my side. I saw it, immediately turned into it, give a little opposite brake. Wing came right up, got up underneath it, came off the power, taxied for, I don't know, 20, 30 yards, whatever it was stable, took off. Kyle and Travis like, yeah, perfect control. So today in Florida, it's been about 50 degrees, 55 degrees. So a couple 100 feet up, it's, 45. So it was cold. And the first flight, second flight, I'm going through the
70 here, Dave.
So the first and second flight, I'm going through the, talking to the passenger, making sure they're okay, engaging them in conversation, telling them expectations of when we land and everything. So finally get down on the second flight, beautiful grease landing. I mean, couldn't even feel the landing, greased it. I'm like, cool, we're done. Got out of it, and Kyle went over to talk to Travis, and I still had my headset on, and I heard, how did he do? And I heard Kyle say, oh, he did just fine. It was, perfect. And then all of a sudden the headset cut. They turned it off. And wasn't paying much attention to it. And I was getting ready to go walk back to the truck, and Kyle's like, no, you're going up again. By this time, I'm freezing to death. I'm like, okay, well, here we go. So Travis gets into it, and we take off. Flew around. He goes, hey, you just had an engine out. Where are you going to land? Pointed it out. Flew back, and he goes, okay, let's land. It lasted not very long because we were both cold. Got out, and everybody was alive. Everybody seemed happy, and they didn't kick me out. So, so yeah, I'm basically able now under FAA for exemption, for tandem exemption. So cool stuff. So Kyle, when I get there, my trike should be there next week. When I get there, I'm bringing my trike up. I'm bringing that spare trike up for you, and we're gonna put this thing together. We're gonna go play with it.
Kyle, you gonna let Dave take you up?
Heck yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna let Kyle take me up. So
I got drugs for that.
Roofie.
I don't remember anything. I took the blue
smoothest flight I
ones.
ever had.
I shouldn't make drug taking jokes. That sounds so terrible.
Oh, but yeah, Dave, I'm sure your experience was pretty similar. I mean, you went through the same stuff, except you got to fly with your kids and all that other good stuff.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm taking off. Todd Skandrick's supposed to be here, I think, Friday night. And now with this whole contract thing canceling because of COVID and stuff, I'm going to probably take off Friday morning because I want to take Todd up. I think that'd be a hoot. So I guess that ain't going to happen. I don't know.
You got options now.
Yeah.
There's more.
No, I mean, I could just stick around, take Todd up, and then come back, and then next week take Kyle up. And if we can get Dave to come down, then I could take Dave up.
See how many YouTubers you could get in 1 month, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
No, what you need is the whole like Santa Claus, the reindeer that you got the.
Dude, did you see that picture of the?
No, but people do it every year with trikes.
I was debating do it this year, but with the move and everything, I'm like, I gotta stop spending money anywhere I can.
Oh, you're moving.
Yeah, we're building a house right now. Just
I'm sorry.
No, it's awesome. It's surrounded by woods, and there's a big river.
Well, we gotta fix that.
It's okay. There's a cul-de-sac. That's called an LZ. No, I can go 5 minutes in any direction and find at least a half a dozen LZs. I've got plenty of LZs.
Trees in your backyard, you'd have an LZ.
I know how to get down. It's all right.
Well, hey, look, give the kid a chainsaw and a beer and walk away.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah, your whole pasture's missing now.
Kevin Collins says, thank you, Kevin. He had he said the video of me flying with my daughter was epic. Yeah. I'll tell you this, something that's the best thing is flying with your kids. It really is awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ian, I've taken him up on many tandem flights, and after the first one, he's like, hey, can we go again? Can we go again? And then we got him a gaming unit, and then he didn't want to go anymore.
Yeah.
I want you to take me up on a tandem. I've never done a foot launch tandem.
Oh yeah.
I got to experience one.
Okay. I rebuilt my tandem bar. It's fresh.
Well, I've got a 38. Actually, I think yours is 38 meter too.
I got a 38 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
What wing do you have?
I've got a 38 meter ITV Bulldog.
Okay. Yeah, you had mentioned that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's the what is mine? The Mag Max, Ozone Mag Max.
Okay.
Mag Max 2. Nice.
Yeah, I got by the 38 10X. That's a neat little wig, man.
Who makes that one?
Dave?
I don't know. Ripa? Ripa would.
It's an interesting wing, guy. Well, I mean, Dave knows this, but Kyle, I gave it full power and never came off of it, and you don't have to check it. It comes up so slow and so docile. It doesn't want to shoot you. It's weird.
Huh.
Yesterday I was kiting it. You would have been proud of me. I put the kiting harness on, and I was in 7 to 9, and I was kiting a 38-meter tandem wing. It was awesome.
Nice.
That was fun.
Floaty and boaty, eh?
Oh man, I was on my tiptoes. Actually, there's video of me jumping, and I take flight, and then I fall backwards. You can hear me laughing for about a second, and then stop laughing because I realize this wing just hit the ground. It's going to reinflate and drag me. So I stopped laughing and start drawing in, all the lines I could.
That question from Angela right there.
Yeah, I saw that. It says, has Jennifer ever gone flying with me? Yes, but not on a paraglider. We did several airplane flights together, but she only flies paragliders with Matt Minyard.
Really?
After she's drunk.
Oh man.
That's her stipulation.
I was doing a ton of tandems at Palm Bay last year. I was like, to do one with him and have him start ripping it up. I had my wife went up with Chris Holbert, who flies a lot with Minyard and Santa Croce. And it's funny because my Jenny is really scared of heights. Now she's okay flying with me. Just a little nervous getting away from the LZ.
Just low, right? Stay low.
Oh no, I mean we were up about 1,000 feet, and I mean, but even then, if she's on a roller coaster, she gets all nervous and freaked out.
Is she got the white knuckles going on?
She was okay. I came off the throttle one time just to scare her. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. We're fine. No problem. No, but I guess when she was foot launching with Holbert, he kind of started doing some wing overs. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. She's okay.
That was my Jen's favorite part.
Wing
She
overs.
said she didn't really like it until he started doing wing overs.
Wow.
It's like, I liked that.
Really?
Like, oh, it's just the beer talking.
What Ripman said the triax. What was the question?
The ozone triox.
I missed the question then. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ripman. But yeah.
No, Jen would go flying with me if I just insisted upon it, but she don't really care to fly. She's a horse rider person.
My wife
told her that we needed to hook some risers onto her saddle and hook a wing up to it. She didn't find that very funny.
With I don't think the horses like the wings too much. They're new to the house, and so they're not completely broke in and numbed like the last horses. So,
were you there when we took off to the airport, or maybe you were already at the airport?
Maybe. I don't know. I was so jealous that I flew at the para party, obviously, but I had an injured heel from not from any kind of flying thing. As stupid as it was, I cut the end of my toe, and I had to kind of change my gait so that I wouldn't constantly bang the sore spot on the end of my toe. So for about a week, I was kind of limping, just walking funny, and it hurt my heel. Like, because I was limping, my heel got out of whack. And about the time the para party was going on, it was, it hurt to do touch and goes. It hurt to walk. It hurt to stand. So I wanted to go out there and do like touch and goes and play around, but I just flew, and then I did some touch and goes anyway. And then but not as many as I wanted.
Now, if you look at my video from the para party as I'm taking off, look at those horses. I felt bad.
Oh yeah, they jump and buck, don't crazy, and no, I don't feel bad. They need to be numbed to it because there's going to be a lot of flying out of that place.
Oh, the cows in back of you.
My horses, I'm not mad if they get all spooked. I'm like, yeah, they just have to figure it out. I think they get spooked no matter what, though. Horses are kind of weird.
Yeah. No, the cows in back of you, man, they're like moo. And they just don't care.
Oh, yeah, the cows. Only the little ones. The little ones are the only ones that freak. Big ones, they know. They've seen it.
Farms where you see farmers actually screaming at you from the fields. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
We get that. So Dave, I took you up to, oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw that, Kyle, that Yankee said he highly recommends a trip up here to come up and visit. He came up here and visited for a couple days, I think 3 or 4 days, and flew with a bunch of us up here, and he had a great time. And I think he flew out. Yeah, he flew out of the same airport that I took Dave to, Red Stewart Airport. And then right to the east of that airport, there's a lot of farms. And I was out there with Holbert and a bunch of the guys that he teaches from Predator Paramotor. And there was some farmer just like going, oh, I'm like, we were nowhere near his cows. We were like flying over the corn stalks and landing. Like, yeah, we're gonna get some phone calls later today.
This time of the year, it's deer season, so the deer hunters are the ones that I try not to. I don't even hardly go anywhere this time of the year unless I'm 1,000 feet or higher. Not that the deer care. You got to get right on top of those things to even spook them, but the hunters think they care.
Mm-hmm.
One day I was in this drugstore. This was a couple of years ago, and just randomly a guy comes in. He's like, I got a beef to pick with you. At 5 p.m. yesterday, you come right over my deer stand. And I kind of looked at the girls here. I was like, tell him where I was at 5 o'clock yesterday. They're like, he was right here. It wasn't him. And this was like, who's flying? And then a girl that wasn't working that day, but the next day came by, and she's like, Kyle, somebody was flying, had a picture of a Mac Charger down the road here. And I was like, that was yesterday at 5 o'clock. She's like, yeah, about then. I was like, where was that? And she told me the guy's field. And I was like, who was in town flying? Like, I'm supposed to know if somebody's in this town flying. Like, surely I know who it was. This was before I had a bunch of people through the school and stuff. And so I went down to the guy's house the next day, and I was like, hey, who was here with the paramotor? And he was like, I don't know. Some guy just stopped and asked me, could he fly here? And I was like, yeah, well, we want to watch. And so just some random traveler stopped in my town to fly a paramotor. I don't know. Maybe you don't watch YouTube or something.
Probably trying to catch.
I got in trouble for that one. Apparently he was buzzing deer stands.
Oh. There's a deer stand behind your property going towards the airport, like in a low cut field. You can see the deer stand on the edge. And I think it was last year you and I flew over it in and around deer time. I looked down, there were hunters in it. They were looking up, but we were 1,000 feet or more. Yeah. And then at the para party, I flew over it, and I was like, oh, because I was probably only 300 foot when I flew over. So I was like, yeah, it's deer season. I got to watch it because, yeah, they get upset.
I forget sometimes too, and I realize like, oh, I'm low. I gotta go back up.
Those hunters don't mind if you're wearing if you're wearing an orange vest. They don't get so upset with you. That way they can see you coming.
Yeah.
Or if you herd the deer toward the deer stand.
That's right. Yeah, we're trying to make it easy for you. Tony just asked a question. I'll let you guys answer it. YouTube question for all of you. What do you guys do when you have a bad comment?
Oh, I had a bad one today. I just laughed at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They used to
takes a lot more than that to hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I usually ignore it, but if I really want to embarrass someone, I'll comment back and just rip the shit out of them.
Actually, the comment's pretty fresh on my mind. I read it like 30 minutes ago. It says the guy with the most annoying voice on the internet reads 12 pages of accident report. And then
Del Shanzi read the report? How did you get
No, it was
it's a joke.
But I know, but I was trying to think the rest of the comment. I was just like, okay, dude, thanks for watching, I guess.
Yeah, they used to bother me, but now I do kind of the cross between Kyle and Dave. It's every once in a while I'll reply back and rip the shit out of them. Most of the time I just ignore them. It's like, whatever.
Tony says he saw a comment. He said in Kyle's video, he got pissed off by it. I don't know. Yeah, it's Word Warriors.
You're going to have your haters.
All right.
Yep. That's okay with me,
Not
too.
making a video for anybody but me.
Yeah. I love the haters, too. Yeah. Whatever gets the algorithm going, I guess. I don't know how it works.
He says, I just tell Yankee Paramotor to keep his comments to himself.
Funny.
Well, Kyle, I mean, the only reason why I watch your videos is to see if I'm in them. I mean,
oh yeah. Yeah, you're
Or
probably
start my motor as you're starting a video. Yeah,
Cute.
that's my favorite thing to do. Is you start to talk, I like to rev my engine.
Yep. Yeah, it happens. It happens. I've got some of that on camera
Oh my God.
with commentary, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, one of your
Yeah, there was
videos.
one.
like,
What was it? I was mid sentence and just changed the whole sentence to, man, I really love to rev my paramotor right in the middle of someone's vlog.
I expect you to do that to me when I'm vlogging out there.
So you're probably like me. You have no idea what's going on. Just
Yeah.
revving your motor out in the world.
It's like I'm getting ready to go fly. I'm starting my engine. The only thing I care about, nobody around my prop. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Trike Flyer here. I'm fixing to go fly tonight. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you share this video with all your friends. Thanks. All right, sorry.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I practice. I watch your videos. I know what you do.
Hey, you gotta ask, man. I mean, Kyle's up above 10. Dave, you're catching me. You're like within 100.
Am I?
Yeah.
I haven't been counting.
Yes, you have.
I got to do more controversial content is what I need, right?
There you go.
That what gets the attention? Controversy?
I've given up.
That's what
on
the
it.
girls told me at the pharmacy yesterday. They were like, you need to say something controversial. And I said, put worms in your chocolate chip cookies. And they all agreed that that was not controversial. And then someone else said, hot dog water popsicles. And they said that was controversial.
What?
Hot dog water popsicles? Like you freeze hot dog water and then,
Oh,
yeah, that's what I thought too.
that's like cod ice cream, cod flavored ice cream.
Oh,
I know.
That's a real thing.
Oh, there's
I
probably
don't
worse
know.
stuff. I don't know.
no,
All right.
well,
Well,
subs. I don't care anymore. I
what
mean,
else do we got, Dave?
nothing, brother. It's your show. It's your show.
I'm
So
thinking.
what's the weather like in Florida tomorrow?
It's getting hotter.
But the
Tomorrow's
fourth,
supposed to be.
Don't stay 50 something for long down there.
Yeah. Well, we just had a front come through from the Gulf or something. I guess tomorrow's gonna be like 65, 70 degrees, and then actually as we get into the weekend, it's supposed to be getting nicer and nicer and nicer. So, but I'm gonna be out of here. I think Friday morning.
I think we're
I'm
getting a
actually
shot of
doing that.
rain Friday, and then it's supposed to cool off again a little bit. And
I was actually
tomorrow's
considering.
75. And we're getting 75 here tomorrow. I think I'm
I
gonna
was
take a late lunch
considering,
break
like,
from the
Smooth to stop
drugstore.
by your place.
Yeah.
Take the extreme southern route, go say hi to Matt, and then swing by your place and then go home.
Heck yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of thinking about doing. But like I said, I don't know. Man, I'm having a problem with my 185 too, that McFly. So it's got
Yeah.
like 5.5 hours on it. And it's got a mid-range, I don't know, it's almost like it's cutting out. It's shaking at mid-range and it won't idle. And I've got the idle screw all the way down. It won't hold an idle. So we just ordered another carburetor for it. So
Operation.
yeah, we'll see if
Hey,
that's
has anybody done the what am I trying to say? The fuel injection. Has anybody got one of those kits?
thought you were getting one, Dave.
No, I was actually to become a distributor for them, but I ended up getting tied up with that flip house, so I never did it.
Huh.
Which I kind of regret because from everything that I understand, the fuel injection actually adds a tiny bit of power, but it's like 20-25% fuel savings. And it's
Only
supposed to be
thing that I run into with the Mosters that I really don't like is the mid-range.
Yeah.
It seems like 2 out of 3 of them have this rough mid-range, and then 1 out of 3 runs like a dang top. And no matter, and I call myself good at adjusting carburetors. I do it all the time, and I usually can nail it. But sometimes you get these, I don't know if it's a bad batch of carbs or what, but
Yeah. Well, I was going to
get a
bring
rough
this back to
mid-range.
you and have you tune it out because this thing's it's right before the pipe. It's like it shakes. It's like it's coughing or just momentarily cutting out.
Yeah, that's what this one's doing.
Yeah.
Brand new, 1 hour, 2 hours on the engine, and it's like no matter what adjustments I've made 20 adjustments on it at least, and I can't get it to be smooth right at that sweet spot.
Did you find that we've bottomed the idle screw all the way out, and it still won't hold a solid idle? I've got no more screw left. It's like,
so you got no more screw left? Never mind.
No more screwing, man.
Alexis says it feels smoother, more power, better fuel economy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sure.
That's what she said.
I think one of those would be real beneficial on a small trike.
I just made a video. I must have put 10. That's what she said's in there. I was getting carried away. It was about dry and wet wings, so everything was a wet joke.
Oh, gee.
Nice.
It's wet. I think the thumbnail says feels moist.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to start a video right now. Let's see, how can I start this video?
Are we demonetized already?
So is this good content? All right.
Yes.
Let's start off every video. Is this good content?
I know it. I know it. I question myself all the time.
He starts a video. Ding, 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 ding.
Also, all the time.
Yeah. Well, you're out in the middle of nowhere. Who needs a damn seatbelt, man? I mean,
I obviously know what's important in my life. I grab the camera before I buckle up, right? That's.
I got nothing to talk about important, so I've pretty much stopped making videos. I'm focused more on the show. But if I have something important to say, I'll start recording. But I just like flying without the cameras now. I really do.
Yeah.
So I usually only record about 1 out of 5 flights.
You told me that a long time ago.
Yeah. In fact, the other day, stupid me almost hit a damn power line. I'm embarrassed.
What?
Right over here in Spring Hill, like the one power line I'm always dodging. I caught myself flying low and I was like, oh, and I had to do like a hook turn. Like I realized where I was and I couldn't see the thing. I never saw the thing, but I knew where it was. And I must have been within 50 feet of it. It was scared me a little bit. It's like, dang, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Because I've not been flying myself. It's been a long time since I've been over here in town flying because I've been teaching the school. So, you know, as common and as many times as I've done it, it was like a bit of complacency or something. And
well, nobody in Spring Hill minds because when I'm there, I go fly the town and I do some pretty stupid stuff and they all think it's you because they're like, hey, Kyle.
Yeah. I mean, the hook turn might have looked cool at 5 feet off the ground, but it spooked me some, man. I felt embarrassed. But I didn't have the camera running. I wished I would have been recording that. So
I've done the same thing, man. I've almost slammed into a power line, having to do it was a 90-degree turn to avoid it.
But not just any power line, like the power line. The power line, the one that is like, watch out for that one.
Wow. Yeah, I've been there.
Man.
I slammed into one.
But I did see the airplane that was coming into the airport. So I felt good about that. Like that made up for it, right? On the other side of the coin. Like, I see you down there coming at us. So
the one and only time that I didn't see the airplane was with you. I was coming down the runway and I remember you.
It was about the same situation. Like I was about in the same place and the airplane was about in the same place. But it's like looking for you across the road, you know, it's just ingrained. So I'm looking like, oh, there's one there.
Yeah. Well, ever since that day, you and I had that talk. You sat me down and talked to me. It's man, I haven't missed one since.
No, you gotta look.
Like you said, it's like crossing the road. Look.
Yeah, fun stuff. Guys, I'm fixing to hang up and go home. I've been up here for half the day. I only did a half a day. My brother hurt his back. Today's typically my off day.
Oh, is he okay?
He's got like a herniated disc or something, bulging disc, and it's got him just damn near crippled. And he came up here this morning. We got another pharmacist that works on Wednesday as well, who is crippled. Matter of fact, he's in a wheelchair, paraplegic. But he, you know, I like to be around if he's here. He can't really do all the stuff that he might need to do just because of physical disability. But he is legal. Like I can leave and go get lunch and come back and everything's fine. But if I'm the only pharmacist here, I'm delegated to be here. You can't leave the pharmacy. We had an inspection yesterday. That was fun. And then, but yeah, Ryan, he called me. He's like, man, I gotta go back home. He's like, I'm hurting. So I had to come relieve
You got
him.
a bunch of drugs behind you. Just take a couple of those and get to work.
Yo, that's just it. You can't work when you're on drugs either. That's
Yeah, well, there we go.
When we wrap it up, baby boy, what do you
Yeah, I think we probably need to wrap it up. Kyle, thank you so much for joining, man.
Thanks for the invite. That's fun.
I will see you
I wish
probably.
I could do it more.
Oh, absolutely. I'll see you next week, man. We're gonna have some fun with that trike.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
I hope we got good weather too.
Yeah.
My gloves are charged if not.
Well, I can't wait to see what you do with this other trike. We'll do some horse trading for that.
I'm sure I can ugly it up just fine.
Oh, I bet you it's gonna work good for you.
Kyle, when do I have to get you onto the show before you say no, Dave? I'm not going to do the show again because it's daylight at 9 o'clock. When do I have to get you on by?
Let's see here. I've got a little app right here.
How's February?
It says that right around
Probably March.
March.
I messed up.
He's
Well,
looking for
suck at
fun stuff.
everything.
Dave, the only problem with having Kyle on is we got to figure out something he hasn't talked about before. He's going to talk about weather. We could talk about weather. That might be something.
Actually, a weather episode would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll
We've
get
got some weather footage stacked up. I thought about doing a video soon.
right.
Yeah, it looks like about March the 9th or something. So we got a few months.
Plan on February. Sound good?
Be good. Be good.
Thanks for.
I got some footage that I really want to edit. I'm ready to edit the footage from the Farmerville Air Show. I raced the Aeroshell number 4. Like he was taxiing out to the runway. The air show was wrapping up, and I landed right beside him down there. And we gave each other the nod and took off. And I was eating his smoke the whole time. So it was still a race. I still got to race the Aeroshell.
When the truck pulls up next to you and blows smoke at you.
Yeah, it was something like that. And I was on the slowest glider in the entire world. So
Next time, Kyle, we'll put you into my Corvette, and you go down the
Corvette
taxiway.
might would have got a jump initially, but
Yeah,
I believe
I
they
don't know,
would
depends on his
have
top
took
speed. But then again, we're gonna, you'd run out of runway. He wouldn't.
it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kyle.
All right, guys.
I'm gonna get out of
Really
here.
appreciate
Much
you
love,
guys.
guys.
Thank
We'll
you
see
so
y'all
much
later.
for joining tonight.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
I will see you on Sunday night. We'll go into
Absolutely. Yeah. So guys, join us this coming Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Paramoto Crazy's channel. Paramoto Crazy. Dave, thank you so much for taking it tonight with this whole finding out that I'm not working in February. My brain has been just a little bit tonight. So definitely appreciate him for hosting it up on his channel and also pretty much hosting it tonight. It was absolutely a lot of fun for me to get to talk to Kyle and Dave. Guys, we will be back to our regular scheduled After Dark, 9 p.m. Wednesdays starting next week. So we'll definitely have some fun. Watch for the links there. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, notifications on, all that other good stuff. Guys, appreciate you. We will see you next time. Hit it, Dave.